he looks from behind, not the observer and the observed, not as that everybody becomes the observer of everything that he observes. But now the enlightened man even knows the observer. He goes beyond this observation and one that is observed, beyond that. So he has got nothing to do with this observer. Observer means ego. I do this, I have seen this, I experimented this thing, and only he is speaking of individual observer. As I can see the glasses here, I am the observer, and this becomes observed, in between observation. So everybody is doing up to this much, you see. Right. But no one knows who is the observer. I am the observer, everybody say, I observe, an object of observation, but nobody knows who is the one who is even looking at the observer from behind. The enlightened one does it, not the other one. Even the observer is seen. I am seeing, I start working myself as an individual person, but I don't go behind what is this individual person himself. So whatever is seen, observed, I observe my body also, and not the one which is beyond. The beyond will observe my body, my feelings, my intellect, my mind, and my body and senses and the objects, everything he will feel from behind. So if you turn your face to that one who observes the observer, that is now my question to you. You see, you are. You see also what you are doing. To see who you are, and you are quite conscious that I am so and so. And what is this consciousness by which you can know I am conscious of everything? So that supreme consciousness is looking this individual consciousness and everything that is being done by the individual itself in the way of senses, you see. Or you can call it other way. There are objects. And then the objects we feel through the senses. Senses of sight we see, through ear, music, nose, fragrance, tongue, taste, hand, touch. Now, object, senses. And better than the senses is mind, because the mind orders, commands the senses. There is glasses, pick it up, like this thing, mind. Beyond the mind, intellect, you see. Intellect which decides what you have to do and what you have not to do. If it is some flower, you have not to touch it, but smell it, you see. So, intellect. Beyond intellect is ego, from where the rises of the intellect, mind, senses, objects, you see. Now, beyond the ego now you have to go, who is aware of the ego, what I have to do and not to do. If it is a rock, I can't swim. There must be a lake to swim. So this decision is from the beyond the intellect, you see. The intellect decides and the ego is there to do something, but this consciousness which is conscious even of the ego, who is that? From where this consciousness will arise from. Now we are going 5 steps back, you see. Object, senses, mind, ego and consciousness, individual consciousness and supreme consciousness, beyond that. And if you see beyond that, all is there already, is being done, you see. And you are not affected, you are not doing anything, you are not the doer and not done. So that is called enlightenment, freedom. And even from the karma, what I described, there is no karma at all. This karma is in the framework of the mind, because this mind has recollected something and ordered the effect of some commitment to certain such vehicle or senses, and then beyond that, this activity has never even arisen from anywhere. So long a man has doubt, he is suffering, so we advise him to be free, we advise him to go and meditate in the Himalayan caves, go to attend satsang. So because he is in the mental plane, we advise him something. If you rise there, there never has existed anything, is the fundamental truth. There never ever has existed anything, never will exist. This is the ultimate truth. What we see is through our ego only, and this manifestation, what we see around, is what you needed to see, what you wanted to see, and this is related to your individual identification.